All right. Well, I wanted to take a little bit of time this Friday evening before you folks head out for the weekend and go to the banks and stuff. I know a lot of banks are open on Saturdays now, and generally Fridays and Saturdays are usually target kind of days during the week where most folks head on over to the good old financial institution and pick up some of their rolls for their roll hunting for the weekend. But just in general, the time in which you pick up rolls can be any day of the week. And I did my video earlier this morning regarding the new quarter release, and apparently there was at least one person that had mentioned that they did find a Nina Otero out in circulation already. So yeah, I guess they're out there. So definitely a coin to be on the lookout for. I'm not going to rehash the details of why it's an important release among all the other releases of the American Women's Series of quarters. Yeah, the errors have been off the chain, off the charts on every single release so far this year in 2022, and I expect it to continue on as we go on through this series. Again, until the U.S. Mint figures out how to I guess, better handle some of the quality control issues on their end that's causing these errors, we're going to continue to see them for the better part of not only the rest of this year, with the final two releases, being that one is we are on the cusp of seeing a wave of the brand new fourth quarter released this year, but also that fifth one that is going to be released a little bit earlier in the year in October. I think in years past we've seen the because we've had the Statehood Quarter series and we've also had the America the Beautiful National Park series. Those are 5-quarter per year sets. We've seen the fifth quarter release sometime in around November. This year it's October, a little bit sooner. So what does that mean? Well, it means they're cranking them out. There's a little bit more speed of urgency to get these out to the public, and that can only mean one thing: more errors, less quality control, more crap quality, and I couldn't be any more happier. However, this video right here is a little bit different because we're going to take a couple of the comments that we had from that video earlier today, and I really wanted to help you guys along, kind of, talk a little bit about, what's happening, and it's nothing new. None of this is new. Acquiring rolls from the bank can be a little bit like pulling teeth, all right? It really depends on who you get and ultimately the bank. The bank itself imposes release limits of some of these items because they're still delusional. They still think that we're in a coin shortage for whatever that's worth. But I wanted to take some time to help address a few of the concerns that have been coming out. Now, the first person that I wanted to personally thank you to Country Gal Weaver, who is what you see here. Let's go ahead and address what she has. I hope you guys have better luck than I have with my bank. If you don't have an account, they will not give you rolls of anything. If you do have an account, they say there is a coin shortage. They will let you have so many rolls. As for new coins, they laughed at me. Okay, so this is, again, nothing new. We've had a number of folks, not only on my channel, but across the YouTube, numismatic, groups of people, other content creators, have come across this. But you'll realize that some of the bigger content creators, and I'm just going to name a few of them, right off the rip, like Rob Finds Treasure and Half Dollar Make You Holler, among a few other prominent roll hunters that sit there and break open rolls. How do you think they acquire these rolls? Okay, they'll tell you they probably have a designated bank that they go to. All right, and then through a lot of hard work and searching, right from it all starts somewhere, all the way from the very beginning. They identified that this bank is willing to play ball. Okay, so that's where we try and want to identify for ourselves. We need to find a bank that we could honestly forge some sort of kinship or relationship or however you want to, classify it as, we want to be able to, not literally, but get into bed with this bank. All right. And what it really boils down to is going to be relationships, how nice you are, and not shitting where you eat. Okay, that's important. Okay, that's why we always designate a pickup bank, a quality pickup bank, and then of course your dump bank. You don't use the same bank for both. That is going to get you exiled out of their system, regardless if you stay with that bank, in the future. So you need to make sure you designate one different bank for each type. So a pickup bank is going to be your high quality stuff that that you could get in, that you could search, that you've had generally pretty good luck with the finds in there. Okay, a lot of people these days are still looking for silver. All right, especially in the middle of a recession, silver is still the king of metals out there. With gold and platinum. It's the top tier of investable assets that people like to dump money into during times of uncertainty. So people are going to continuously search for silver. It doesn't matter where the price is. There is always going to be that need. But you got to understand, all right, there is more desirability for folks to go to the bank and acquire rolls, okay? And the difference is, how are you setting yourself up differently than these folks? Are you just, like I had referred to or prefaced in the video I did earlier, are you just reaching out to one or two banks? Because that's not doing enough in hindsight. All right. If you are really 100% determined and you want to make this a part of your lifestyle and you want it to be fun as well as financially secure for you, because there's a lot of money at stake here. You could literally pick up a box of quarters for $500, turn around and flip it for between $750 and $1,000. And that's like easy, like straight up couple $100 and more of money. And it's life changing. To a lot of people, that's a car payment. To a lot of people, that's maybe 1/3 or 1/4 of their rent or whatever. Just think about all the money that flows through the banking system and how you can take advantage of it. However, it doesn't stop there. You don't stop at that one single bank. Or let's say if you're part of Bank of America and you got two Bank of Americas in your town and they're the only two that you go to, and they're turning you away by telling you like, oh, we're in a coin shortage, we can't give you those rolls, we can't give you a full box, then it's time to use a different bank. Sorry to say it and put it out there bluntly. But yeah, Country Gal is kind of right. If you don't have an account, you're going to find it hard to obtain large quantities of boxes of rolls. You really need to have an account, okay? And really, that's a very small amount of investment of time and money to do that, because, if you had like, say, $500, and normally when you're coin roll hunting anyways, you need to have a set designated amount of cash, amount of capital that you can kind of work through and recycle, all right? So, I would say $1,000, $2,000, go to a bank and, go ahead and open up a new account, all right? And then forge a relationship. If Bank of America doesn't work out for you because of what they say, then use a different bank, all right? But continuously contact different banks, different institutions, see what their policies is, and then go from there. But most importantly, don't stick with what you have inside your town. Some of us live in very small communities where there's only one Bank of America, only one Chase, only one Wells Fargo, or maybe there's not any of those banks at all. So what do? You do nothing, but you still want skin in the game? No, you go and you contact the bank at the next town 10 miles away, or this bank over here. You have to really spread out your feelers and get some sort of commitment from a bank. If they say, yeah, we could certainly accommodate that. We don't have, and the best type of banks are the folks that say, yeah, well, we really don't get that many people come in asking for rolls, except maybe, our merchant services, where local businesses come in, they do business with us, and they ask for rolls for their cash registers and all that, and then we give that to them. So, they're willing to do that. They're willing to do that for regular people, but they're also willing to do that quite to a larger extent with business customers. And that's why I opened up a business account with Chase, is that I'm able to get a lot of rolls. It doesn't matter what Chase branch I'm at. I could get rolls. I could get full straps of dollar bills, fives, tens, 20s, dimes, you name it. But it took me a while to figure out who specifically the banks are going to cater to a higher level to, rather than just someone that has, really no skin in the game, and maybe you're the type of person that uses your main bank as also your dump bank. That's not a good look. All right, that you buy $500 and half dollars and quarters, and then a week later you return it to the same bank. I mean that's coin roll hunting suicide there at its finest. Don't do that. All right. So really, the kind of to recap what we're trying to do here is that you're going to call multiple banks. That's important. Yeah, there's going to be some banks that they don't want to hear what Blue Ridge Silverhound has to say, because it's all kind of like a marketing sales gimmick for a lot of the customers to try and get them to sell them rolls. All right. And it's not. It's like, you're a customer of that bank. You deserve these things. And if they tell you, well, we can't get rolls, well, they're the type of bank you don't need to deal with, because they don't do the kind of volume business-wise through their branch to facilitate the ordering of full boxes of rolls and things like that. So don't use them, because, you'll know right away that they're not going to do it for you. Yeah, I mean, there is some decorum involved when it comes to how you ask for these. Do you ask specifically for the rolls with the new coins in them for 2022? You can do that. Again, it's all about that comfortability level with that branch. All right. So if you're encountering this, but yet you've only gone to 2 or 3 or 4 branches, you're not doing nearly enough. I would encourage you that if you are truly serious about entering the coin roll hunting kingdom and taking advantage of finding all of this great stuff in these rolls, or just simply turning the rolls over, flipping them online for double face value, like the quarters and dimes and all that, you could do that as well. Okay, it's a kind of like two-way type of affair where you could really cash in on what's going on right now. All right, so that's that one. I also wanted to bring up another comment, which is actually quite interesting. And we might expect to see more of this, especially in areas and locales where there's a lot more business, a lot more foot traffic. But Steve Turner right here had said, I expect that quite a few are anxiously awaiting the release of the next big error quarter. I went to the bank today and was told that there will be a limit. Okay, this is, again, probably nothing new, but it is an interesting revelation. And that they would have to know a week in advance. At this bank, they would usually just sell a few rolls to me since I don't have an account there. But I'm always polite to the tellers. And since I'm so handsome, Steve, buddy, yeah, there's so few of us out there. I believe that made a difference. Great info, Sean. Thank you. Now, okay, this is kind of like a counterpoint to Country Girl Weaver, where she's been having trouble trying to, get a bank that she doesn't normally have a relationship with, no account, to give them rolls, even if it's just a few. Steve here has kind of angled the, just getting into bed with the with the bank, and it's worked out, especially the fact that he does not have any account with this bank. All right, and that's kind of like the best. That's the most ideal situation. If you don't have to sign up to become a customer at that bank, officially, then just walking in, and getting 5-10 rolls would be sometimes, sufficient. And that's what I like to call a small sample size, because it'll give you an idea of what kind of coins are coming in or being distributed in the area, just by getting 5-10 rolls. So Steve did mention something very interesting. Okay, he said, I went to the bank today and was told that there will be a limit. Now, is this a limit because of the mean, nasty, two-word thing out there, coin shortage? Or is this a limit because they're brand new quarters and that a lot of people are coming in asking for the new coins? It could be both, right? It's like going to GameStop and looking for that brand new console that's being released, and you're interested in buying three of them. All right. Of course, if you're buying three of them, more than likely it's an arbitrage thing, and you're looking to make like 10 times your profit or 10 times your money on it, which don't even go there with that with me. But is this something that is a recurring issue with more people coming in? They're coming into the hobby to capitalize on the money you can make and the things that you can find. Or are they doing it as a result of that? So it's going to be either one of two things. Let them tell you what that is, if and only if you want to dig further. Sometimes just leaving well enough alone is much better than maybe getting under their skin and trying to identify exactly why they're imposing a limit. But letting them know a week in advance, I would say let them know now. If you're looking to get some of the Nino Otero quarters and you just want to, kind of roll the die, I guess. Because if you order quarters, you don't know if they're going to be the brand new ones or if they're going to be circulated rolls. That's again another thing to consider. Is it going to be one or the other? But yeah, I mean, we might see more banks doing this as interest grows and increases, especially during the holiday season. Not many people were giving a lot of credit to the American Women's Series of Quarters up until people identified that there's some pretty big errors to find that have sold for $20, $10, $50, hundreds of dollars, right? Wilma, Man Thriller, double-sided error. Yeah, that thing's ridiculous. But you can see that there is a lot more at stake, all right? People recognize that, yeah, you can't make money. There's no free government money anymore. You have to find different avenues. And right now, the hottest thing is going to be these quarters as they continue to come out. And then the next one comes out, and the next one after that. It's going to be a feeding frenzy for the next 3 years when we see this 4-year duration of American Women quarters run its course. Okay, every single year, it's going to be a new thing. I'm going to talk about it with every release. Hey, get yourselves ready because, this one's going to come out, much like I did with the Maya Angelou, the Sally Ride, and of course the Wilma Man Thriller. I talked about every single one of them. Get ready, prime the pump. Go ahead and reach out to your bank and then get things lined up. All right. And it's a great time to reach out to multiple banks, even the banks that you don't bank with. And again, being nice is free, right? It's like the best teaching tool that you could give anyone if they're looking to get their way. Be freaking nice. Kiss some serious ass out there and then see what you could get. Believe it or not, it all works out. And then when it pays off dividends, guess what you could do? You could go get your favorite bank teller a Starbucks gift card. Okay? You can, do whatever you want to do. People have been doing it for the longest time. But being nice from day one all the way up to day 400 is really what's going to win the day. All right? And yeah, you guys are going to have a crack shot at 16 other American Women quarters between the next 3 years. You guys are going to have plenty enough time to perfect this craft and do it right. And that's what you got to do. And if you want it, and you want it bad enough, there are people who are making thousands of dollars doing this. Thousands of dollars in addition to their regular income. People are quitting their jobs and they're living off the fat of the banking system and getting these rolls. They're getting straps of dollars and then they're doing, dollar searches and finding all sorts of cool stuff. My goodness, it's a great time to be in the hobby. Now's the time to pounce. Do it right, do it safe, do it nice. When you're nice, good things are going to come back. in a huge way. And guess what? Being nice, it's kind of a lost art out there. There's a lot of negativity in the world, all right? But this is something that you could do for yourself to really move the needle forward and, win the day. So I wanted to talk about that before I let you guys go for your weekend of fun in the sun for the last few weeks. And of course, the coin hobby is going to be picking right back up where it left off after Labor Day. So yeah, go ahead and perfect your skills out there. Let me know what you guys find in these new quarters. It's going to be exciting. And that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. You guys take care. Have a wonderful evening. Be safe out there. Don't get too wild and crazy. And I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.